When I first heard about the new Pixel Glow feature on the Google Pixel 11, I'll admit, I was genuinely excited. For once, it sounded like Google was introducing a real hardware innovation instead of just another incremental camera tweak, or AI buzzword. Finally, something different. Although leaks haven't fully revealed what Pixel Glow will actually look like, hidden clues inside Android's latest code build suggest it's designed to function as a smart RGB lighting system, integrated into the camera bar. And on paper, that sounds bold, unique, even fun. But as more Google Pixel 11 leaks surface, that early excitement is slowly turning into skepticism. Because while flashy lighting features grab attention, the bigger picture of the Pixel 11's hardware strategy raises serious questions, and I'm not sure I like the answers. What is Pixel Glow supposed to be? According to well-known leaker Mystic Leaks, the entire Pixel 11 lineup, including the Pixel 11 Pro and Pixel 11 Pro XL, will feature an RGB LED array embedded into the camera bar. Some reports describe it as a smaller version of Nothing's glyph interface, a subtle RGB notification system, possibly even a camera ring light design. Leaked renders show a colorful strip sitting at the edge of the camera visor. However, there's a problem. The AI-generated renders don't fully match the hardware schematics. Flash placement differs. Certain sensor cutouts are missing. That strongly suggests some of these images may be speculative rather than final. So what will Pixel Glow actually look like? We don't know. But here's the bigger question. Even if it looks cool, will it matter? Pixel Glow? Innovation or distraction? Notification lights used to be practical. They told you when you had a message, a missed call, or low battery, without waking your screen. If Pixel Glow revives that idea in a modern, customizable RGB form, it could be useful. But if it's simply decorative lighting designed to make the phone stand out in marketing photos, then it risks becoming a gimmick. And that's where my concern begins. Because while Google appears focused on visual flair, the internal hardware decisions tell a more complicated story. The RAM situation is confusing. Going into 2026, one of the biggest questions in the Android world was RAM pricing. Global memory costs have surged. Manufacturers had two choices: increase phone prices cut or restructure RAM configurations. Samsung chose to raise prices on the Galaxy S26 lineup while keeping RAM consistent. Google seems to be taking a different approach. Leaks suggest the Pixel 11 Pro models may offer both 12GB and 16GB RAM options. Unlike the Pixel 10 Pro, which standardized at 16GB, that signals a cost control strategy. Offer a lower RAM variant to maintain pricing. But here's the problem. Google is doubling down on on-device AI, and AI workloads are RAM-hungry. Reducing memory options while simultaneously promoting more advanced AI processing feels like conflicting priorities. Tensor G6, smarter or just different? Another major leak points to the Tensor G6 chip featuring a 7-core CPU layout, dropping from the 8-core configuration seen in the Tensor G5. Now, fewer cores doesn't automatically mean worse performance. Google may be redesigning the architecture for better AI efficiency, improved thermal performance, longer battery life, but early indications suggest the GPU could fall further behind competitors, so we may be looking at a CPU optimized for AI tasks. GPU that struggles with heavy gaming RAM configurations that could bottleneck AI performance. It's a strange balance. Google seems to be building a phone optimized for computational photography and AI post-processing, not raw performance. Which brings us back to Pixel Glow. Is Pixel Glow hiding bigger trade-offs? There's a common strategy in tech marketing. If the internal upgrades aren't dramatic, highlight something visually exciting. RGB lighting grabs attention. It photographs well. It looks futuristic in ads. But lighting doesn't improve battery life. Lighting doesn't boost sustained performance. Lighting doesn't fix thermal throttling. If anything, it risks feeling like a distraction. And I say this as someone who wanted Pixel Glow to be revolutionary. The bigger Pixel 11 problem. The Pixel 11 doesn't look bad. In fact, it might turn out to be excellent. But this is the first time in years that a Pixel launch feels harder to evaluate based on specs alone. We're seeing a redesigned Tensor chip split RAM options, Heavy AI emphasis RGB lighting integration. Minimal confirmed camera hardware changes. That's a lot of moving pieces, and when a phone's success depends heavily on software optimization and AI processing, real-world testing becomes more important than ever. Benchmarks won't tell the whole story, marketing definitely won't, and flashy lighting won't either. Should you pre-order the Pixel 11? Right now, I wouldn't. Not because the Pixel 11 will be bad, but because there are too many unanswered questions. How well does Tensor G6 actually perform? Does 12 GB RAM limit AI features? Is Pixel Glow functional or purely cosmetic? Will pricing justify the trade-offs? Until we see real-world reviews and sustained performance tests, pre-ordering feels risky. Final thoughts on Pixel Glow and the Pixel. 11 Pixel Glow could be fun. It could even be innovative. It might redefine how Android handles notifications and ambient lighting, or it might just be a visually appealing marketing hook attached to a phone navigating tough hardware compromises. Psych. Google Pixel 11 might surprise everyone and deliver one of the smartest AI-powered experiences on Android, but don't let RGB lighting make the decision for you, because in 2026, performance, efficiency, and long-term value matter far more than a glowing camera bar.